Okay, so hi everyone. If you, for this practice, have a strap available, then grab a strap. If not a yoga strap, then a belt or a dressing gown tie or anything that can fashion as such is fine too. Okay, we're going to start lying down, so if you want to come onto your backs. So just wherever you feel comfortable to begin, just to connect in with the breath a little bit. So whether that's your full Shavasana with legs and arms like flat, or you have your knees bent, feet to the floor, wherever you want to be. Just try and let your back completely drop into the floor. Find some length through the back of your neck. Release any gripping away from your jaw or your forehead. And then just begin to notice the breaths coming through the nose, through the throat, and into the lower part of the abdomen. If it helps you just to connect in with that lower part of the abdominals, maybe just place one hand onto the lower torso, just between sort of hip bones and pubic bone. If you can feel the hand rise each time you inhale. And exhale, draws belly to spine. Just keep that going for a couple more rounds. Softly bringing in that ujjayi sound to your breath, where you have that slight contraction at the back of the throat. Then start to build a little bit more space into the torso with your breath. So maybe use your other hand just to hold on around the sides of your rib cage. So as you breathe now, breathe into the lower abdomen and the width of your rib cage. When you have the full inhale in the body, just take a moment of holding that before you release it. Maybe noticing the back of your ribcage press into the mat as well as you inhale. So you find that full circular intra-abdominal pressure, that full IAP breath. Just take 2 more full rounds of breath. From here, on your next inhale, lift the hands towards the ceiling. Just give your wrists and your fingers a stretch out and a roll around. And then lengthen the arms back behind you. If you have your knees bent, then lengthen them away now so that you find a full body stretch. Allow your wrists and your ankles to have a wriggle. Have a yawn if you need to. And then whenever you next exhale, just one leg at a time, bring the knees in towards your chest. So you hug the hands around the shins just to draw the thighs towards the ribs. And then gently just rocking side to side to massage your back into the floor. From here, bring the feet to the ground and just heel toe your feet so they become as open as as wide as your mat is, so just wider than your torso. Allow the arms to just relax out to the sides with the palms facing up to the ceiling. And then gently just drop both knees across towards the right. Just let them flop wherever they want to fall to. Take a big breath into that full IAP breath. Lower belly, side ribs and back ribs. And as you exhale, draw belly to spine as you lift the knees back up again. Allow both knees to drop all the way down to the left. Again, just allow them to kind of flop wherever they want to fall to. Take a full, long breath. Exhale, draw belly to spine as the knees lift back to the center. Once again, drop both knees over to the right. This time bringing in your quad stretch. So your left hand is going to grab the left ankle and tuck the heel around behind you a little bit further. Then have a sense of your left knee reaching forwards and down, so you really lengthen through the space of the quads on that left side, maybe feeding that into the hip flexor as well. If you're getting any pinching around your knee, you can just completely release this to wherever it feels comfortable to be. You don't want to cause any aggro in the knees. So take another big full breath in to belly, ribs, and back. And again, as you exhale, draw belly down as you lift the knees back up. If you need to give that left knee a stretch, then let that have a stretch. Okay, both knees drop over to the left, and we take that to the other side. So your right hand is grabbing the right ankle and tuck it around behind you a little bit further. Reach the right knee forwards and then down towards the ground, slightly tucking the tailbone just to create a little bit more space around the tissue at the front of the hip. Take a full deep breath. And using the exhale, belly to spine, lift the knees back to the center. Again, stretch the knee out a little bit if we need to. So reset the feet this time so they're hip distance apart. So we work into Bandhasana, your bridge pose. Lengthen the spine so it feels completely connected to the ground. It's like you're trying to imprint your spine into your mat. So you use the feet to slightly press into the floor and away from you, so you feel your back a little bit heavier or more connected into the ground. Just tuck the shoulder blades down your back a little so chest feels open, and have the hands out to the sides of you with palms facing up to the ceiling. So arms will stay nice and relaxed. Take a big full IAP breath into belly. Exhale, draw belly to spine as you roll the spine away from the ground. Engaging with your pelvic floor as the hips start to float. When your hips are floating, imagine your knees being passed forward so you create more length through the top of the legs and into the hips again, like that quad stretch. Take another big breath into belly, ribs, and back. As you exhale, try to tuck the tailbone a little bit further so you reach pubic bone further up. I think the tailbone reaching towards the fold of your knees so that you just nudge a little bit more length through the lower vertebrae of your back. Imagine your knees are just holding a football between them as you just create some engagement of your inner thighs, staying active. Make sure you can feel the big toe pressing into the floor so the arch of your feet feel active too. From here, keep the hips lifting. Take an inhale as your arms lift towards the ceiling. Palms face each other. Imagine again you have a football between your palms, but then you're going to pass back behind you. So let the tip of your thumbs find the floor, but keep the other fingers floating. So just the tip of the thumbs come to the ground. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, try and pass the hands firm back behind you as you slowly roll the spine back into the ground. Keep reaching knees forwards. Bring the pelvis closer to your feet as you roll the spine into the ground. Bring the arms back down to the sides of the body, palms facing up. We're just going to take that once again. So big breath into belly to prepare. And then as you exhale, belly pulls down. So you tuck the tailbone, so tailbone leads the way for the spine to lift, peeling it away from the ground. Again, check the feet feel fully connected into the floor. And if you press into them, you might feel your head just slide back a little bit further. Take a big breath in. As you exhale from tucking tailbone or reach tailbone towards the fold of your knees. Check you're holding that football between your knees so inner thighs stay feeling slightly active. And then as we inhale, again, reach arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, reach them back behind you. So tip of the thumbs finds the floor. Take another big breath into belly. Exhale, slowly rolling the spine back to the ground. When you're rooted, bring the knees back in towards your chest. Take a little rock going side to side. Then hook one ankle over the other. Hands come under the crease of the knees. Swing the feet backwards and forwards a few times to rock yourself all the way through to seated. Or take a roll over to one side if you want to. Take a couple of rocks if you're rolling. And then come into a cross-legged position or wherever you kind of feel comfortable to be. So just stretch into the neck a little bit. So take your hands just to rest out to the sides of your hips with fingertips just resting lightly to the floor, so palms are lifted. So roll the shoulders up to your ears, take a big breath in. As you exhale, slide the shoulder blades down your back. Okay, we're going to work that full IAP breath in again. So as you inhale, lift the shoulders up, hold the breath, squeeze the shoulder blades together, then exhale, drag the shoulder blades down. Again, inhale, lift shoulders up. Hold the breath, squeeze shoulder blades together. Exhale, drag the shoulder blades down your back. Good. Keep the shoulder blades where they are. Stay nice and tall through the spine. So if you can, just rock the weight forward slightly in your sit bones so that your tailbone feels like it's tipping backwards. Dropping your head across towards your left shoulder. And walk the right fingertips further away from you slightly if you can, so that you feel the length and the stretch come down the sideline of your neck. Have a sense of those right fingertips pressing into the floor, so it just nudges your body very slightly over to the left a bit further. You can completely relax your jaw here as well, so you have some space around the back teeth. Find that full breath. And as you exhale, try and create a feeling of just a little bit more release through that stretch in the neck. On your inhale, this right hand is going to lift up to the ceiling, so flip the palm to face up as you lift it. Exhale, bring that over to side stretch, so you're reaching across towards the left. Keep the sit bones rooted into the floor or a block or whatever you're sitting onto. Use the left hand that's on the ground to keep pressing into the floor, which is going to help your sit bones stay rooted. Keeping the feeling of slightly rocking forwards into them, so we're not slumping into the lower back. Keep the head nice and heavy and nice and relaxed. And then we'll bring in neck release to here. So lift the right arm back up again. Keep the body in that side stretch. Just the right arm is moving here. Turn that right palm to face the floor as it stretches away from your body towards the right wall. Stretch the fingers open so your palm feels really active, and then drag the wrist further away from your torso. So again, you create that little bit deeper length around the sideline of your neck. You can just alter slightly where your hand is or where your head is, find those micro adjustments until you feel where you need it. Take a big full breath where you are. Okay, we're bringing this into a twist. So just bring that right hand to sweep across towards your left knee. Press yourself up straight and take the left hand around behind your body. Take a full breath in, lift nice and tall through your back. Then as you exhale, belly to spine, and rotate the rib cage around towards the left. You're gonna hold here in this twist just for a few breaths. So you can use this right hand that's holding onto the knee to help spiral you round a little bit further each time you exhale. Try and soften the shoulder blades down your back and just let the neck relax into it. So try bringing your chin more in line with the center of the chest so that you're not using the neck muscles to pull you round into the twist. The abdominals and the rib cage twist you. At the same time, see if you can think about your hip bones turning in the opposite direction to the rib cage, like you're spiraling the body, like you're wringing yourself out slightly. Take another full breath where you are. And as you exhale, just gently bring the shoulders back to the center. Let's change the way the legs are crossed, and we'll take that across to the other side. So roll the shoulders down your back again, get that feeling of chest feeling nice and open. Okay, rocking the weight very slightly forwards in the sit bones so we can lift nice and tall through the rest of your back. Drop the head across towards your right shoulder, and then walk the left fingertips as far away from you as they'll walk, but keep them connected into the floor. Then use that connection of left fingertips to press the floor away from you or push into the ground so that you feel the body nudge further towards the right. From here, we bring in side stretch. So lift the left hand up, take a big breath in. Exhale, reach across towards the right side. Again, use the hand that's on the ground to keep your sit bones feeling really rooted into the floor, and then the floating arm lengthens the side of the ribs. Allow the head to relax, jaw to relax. So as you're breathing, try and physically feel the breath move into that left side of the ribs, stretching through all those tiny intercostal muscles. And then we bring in a neck release. So keep everything as it is. Just your left hand is going to lift up and away from you towards the left side. The left palm is facing the floor. Stretch the fingers open and then drag the wrist further away from your body. So you feel this arm pull the shoulder away from the neck slightly further. Again, just find those micro adjustments until you find where you're going to need the stretch. Take a big full breath. And then bring the left hand to sweep around towards the right knee. So we come into twist. So press yourself up straight, take your right hand behind you. Inhale lifts you even taller. And as you exhale, you can pull slightly into the right knee to help the shoulders spiral and the ribs rotate. Keep belly button pulling to spine. Each time you inhale, find a bit more height through the body. And as you exhale, create a feeling of wringing out the torso. So the hips try and turn in the opposite direction to the shoulders. Just check in that the neck stays relaxed. So try bringing chin in line with the chest. So the neck is staying soft. Take another full breath. Gently bring yourself back through to the center. Great. Bring yourself over into all fours from here. It's stretch the fingers nice and open into the floor, so the palms feel active still. So keep the spine in a straight line. So we're not working through cat-cow. You're going to find some rotation or some retraction and protraction through your shoulder blades. Okay, so just press into the floor so that you feel the shoulder blades really open broadly. Broad out. And then let the chest sink down towards the ground so the shoulder blades squeeze together. Press into the hands, shoulder blades broaden. And then let the chest sink so the shoulder blades squeeze together. Just keep that going, pressing open and squeeze together. Couple more rounds. Doesn't matter which side of it you're breathing, just check the breath is moving. Okay, then find somewhere in between. So you feel like the shoulders are staying fairly active, but neither pressing or sinking. From here, bring in your cat-cow. So as you inhale, start from tailbone to tip up and let that ripple through each of the vertebrae to then lift the head. As you exhale, start with the breath, pulling belly into spine, tuck the tailbone and let that ripple through to tuck the chin. Again, as you inhale, the belly expands so the tailbone will naturally lift, let it roll through to lift the head. Exhale, pulls belly in, so your tailbone will tuck and around through to tuck the chin. Again, just keep that going a couple more rounds. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to the inhale again with tailbone and chest lifting up. From here, keep the tailbone pointing upwards. Walk the hands forward, so you're dropping towards your puppy stretch. So forehead is going to come through the arms, resting into the floor. Ideally, you want your hips to be stacked over the knees here, rather than holding back towards the child's pose. So take the whole body further forward. See how it feels. This is going to feel a little bit more comfortable if your hands are wider. You can take the forearms to the floor wherever they feel good to rest also. To make this a little bit stronger, bring the hands closer together. Maybe even coming onto fingertips so the palms and wrists lift so that your chest has further to sink through the arms. See if you can still feel that full IAP breath, intra-abdominal pressure through lower abdomen, side ribs and back ribs. Take one more full breath. Lightly press through the hands, bring yourself back into an all fours position. Just give your shoulders a little wriggle out if you need to. Tuck the toes underneath. Let's find a downward facing dog. Keep a nice deep bend into the knees on this first one. So squatting into the legs. Use that bend of the knees to help your tailbone and sit bones reach further to the ceiling. So focus on the length of the lower back rather than the length of the hamstrings for now. That's like feeling of wrapping the shoulder blades. So let the shoulders come away from the ears so that your neck can relax. Micro bend the elbows. Stretch the fingers open. Take a deep full breath where you are. Okay, from here, start moving through the legs a little. So paddling through the feet or swing the hips side to side. Maybe give your feet the opportunity to have a stretch as well. Stretching through the front of the ankles and the toes. From here, roll forwards to plank position. Inhale as you come forwards. So again, you can place the knees on the floor again if we need to. Like we did in all fours, if we can, we're going to press through the floor so shoulder blades feel really broad. And then let the chest sink so shoulder blades squeeze together. If this is feeling a little bit strong, we're going to keep it going just for a few more rounds. Do exactly as we did earlier with the knees on the ground. Squeeze the shoulder blades and then press the floor away. Squeeze the shoulder blades, press the floor away. Keep the feeling if you are in plank that tailbone is slightly tucking, so we're not arching the body up towards the ceiling here. So your last one, next time your shoulder blades feel really broad, hold there. If you haven't already, bring the knees to the floor, then roll the hips forwards to the ground. Slink yourself through chaturanga, so ribs can roll into the ground. Take the hands further forward, so you can more into the cactus position of your arms, forehead lengthening down towards the floor. Press down through the shoelace bit of your feet, so the legs feel fairly active. You might feel your kneecaps kind of lift away from the floor. Tuck the tailbone or reach the tailbone towards your heels, so you feel lower belly scoop up slightly away from the mat. Press into the hands to help you lift the chest. Keep the feeling of lower belly pulling in. So take the arms forwards enough so that your elbows float away from the ground from this first one. I'm going to hold this cobra just for a few breaths. So keep the palms feeling active into the floor. And then energetically pull the floor towards you so you feel your chest reach a little bit further forwards. It might not be a physical movement through the body, just more of the sensation of creating more space around the torso or more engagement around the back of the shoulders. If you can, check the point of your elbows are facing slightly towards the floor, so you create that wrapping feeling of the shoulder blades. You engage into your lats rather than the top of the shoulders. So with that, just check the neck can feel a little bit more relaxed. Take another big breath in where you are. As you exhale, keep pulling the hands towards you so chest reaches forwards as you roll back into the ground. Bring the hands back underneath your shoulders. Take a big breath in where you are. Use your exhale, belly to spine, push up to all fours, then fold back into Balasana, your child's pose. Take the big toes to touch and let the hips come all the way back towards your feet. Take the knees slightly wider than the torso is, so your breath can still fully move. Take a long, big breath in. And a long, full breath out. Traveling back forwards through all fours, tuck the toes, come into turbo dog. So drop the elbows towards the floor, squeeze elbows in towards each other. Find that protraction through your shoulder blades again, where you're pressing broad through shoulder blades. So round your back slightly, so the gaze comes towards your knees. Keep those elbows hovering about 3 inches away from the mat. Elbows and upper body stay exactly as it is. Tuck the toes and lift the knees to hover. Knees can either stay kind of in line with the elbows or lift them straight up towards downward dog. But keep those elbows dropping towards the mat, squeeze them in towards each other, and try and keep that broad feeling through shoulder blades to tuck the chin slightly towards your chest. If we can take this a little bit stronger, shift the shoulders forwards towards the wrists. You load more weight through the shoulders. Keep squeezing them in. So you should, in your peripheral vision, be able to see both elbows. When you're shaking and hating it, you're in the right place. So take another breath. Then straighten up into your full downward dog. Push the floor away from you. Again, option to keep that little bend in the knees if it helps your back create a little bit more space, or we start working the heels towards the floor so we lengthen more through the back of the legs. For those of you with heels on the ground, try and have a feeling of flexing your feet so the toes lift up and splay out as well, so feet feel active without compromising the length of lower back here. Roll forwards again into plank position. Take a full breath in. Exhale, half chaturanga, so bring the knees to the ground, keep the hips lifted as the chest comes to the floor. Inhale, come into cobra. And exhale, come straight back through to your downward facing dog. Holding here for a couple of breaths, so long inhale. Full exhale, make sure you're dropping into shoulders rather than hunching. Full inhale, Find that full IAP connection. Full exhale. Last breath, inhaling. Exhale. Lift the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. As you exhale, step that through to between the hands or lift it through if you need to. Place the back knee to the ground. Inhale as your arms lift towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. As you exhale, sink the hips further forwards towards your front heel. Just check your front knee is over the line of front ankle, and back knee further away if we can. So nudge it further back so the hips have room to sink down. From here, on your next exhale, draw lower belly in, create a feeling of slightly tucking tailbone. So for those of you that are fairly mobile in the hips, avoid dropping into the hip line. Keep lower belly pulling in and pressing through the front heel to keep you slightly lifted out of that hip. Squeeze the elbows around towards the waistline, around your back, so you create this cactus position with your arms. Feel the shoulder blades squeezing together. See if you can create the thumbs to reach further back and the elbows further forwards. So you again just find those lats around the outer side of the shoulder blades. Keep the neck relaxed, so drop the shoulders. Thumbs are reaching back, elbows forwards. Take another big full breath in. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor, either side of the front foot. Step back into your downward dog. Take a long breath in. And a long breath out. Inhale, lift left leg high. Exhale, step through between the hands, place back knee to the ground. Inhale, lift palms, palms are facing each other. Even more slightly, rotate the little fingers towards each other, which is going to help the arms rotate to keep that wrap of your shoulder blades. So think little fingers turning towards the center line. Again, just check the front knee is over the line of the hip. We're not sinking into hips, but there's also a little bit of space. Keep the hips sinking forwards and down towards front heel. Open out through that right hip flexor. Take a breath in. As you exhale, arms come to cactus. Drop the shoulders. Then find that slight squeeze through the arms. So thumbs reach further back. At the same time, elbows reach forwards. Keep the neck feeling relaxed. Take another full breath. Bring the hands down to the mat. Come back into downward dog. Take a long full breath in. And a long full breath out. Inhale, lift right foot high. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Keep the back knee floating this time. Reach the hands forwards. Keep the torso resting towards the right thigh. So create a really long line from your center finger reaching out all the way through to back heel. Holding, deepen the breath. On your next inhale, reach the fingertips towards the ceiling so you lift up into that high runner's lunge. Again, find that cactus position with your arms, elbows in line with shoulders, thumbs nudge back, find the extra squeeze into it. Take a full breath. And interlace the fingers together behind your back. So draw the knuckles back towards back heel. So again, you feel squeeze around the shoulder blades and the space around your chest. Allow your chin to soften forwards towards the chest line. So again, neck doesn't switch on. Feel the breath physically move around upper ribs. Stay nice and deep into that front knee. Reach it further forwards. On your next inhale, lift the hands up to the ceiling. Spiral your right arm back, so you twist towards the front leg, so shoulders turn towards the right. Palms are facing the wall that you are facing. Stretch the fingers open so they're really active. Slightly tuck tailbone so you take out the feeling of back bend. You might need to take a micro bend through back knee to help the spine stay a little bit straighter. Reach further away through the hands. Take another breath in.
exhale, bring your back hand to find the back leg, just wherever it can reach to. If it doesn't reach the back leg, bring the hand to the lower back, it's fine too. Inhale, lift left hand towards the ceiling. Keep the shoulders turning to the right, that deep bend into right thigh, which is maybe feeling a little bit heated now. Allow the head to turn slightly towards right shoulder. Deepen into the breath. Take 2 more breaths where you are. As you exhale, slowly bring both hands down either side of front foot. Step back into your downward dog, either pausing here or roll through a vinyasa if you want to just keep moving. So your inhale, bring you to plank. Exhale, any variation of chaturanga. Inhale, brings you to cobra or up dog. And exhale, back into downward dog. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Inhale, lift left leg high. Exhale, step through to between the hands. Keep back knee floating. As you inhale, reach the arms forward. We stay in that long arrow sort of position with the body. So center finger reaching forwards. Keep the long line all the way through to back heel. Draw in lower belly, slightly tuck tailbone. Activate the left side of your glutes. Next, inhale, lift the body all the way up. Keep pressing that front heel into the ground, so that will keep the glutes feeling activated. Come into the cactus position of your arms, so elbows out in line with shoulders. Find that extra little squeeze, elbows reach forward as thumbs reach back. Neck stays soft. Interlace the fingers around behind your back. This time, see if you can interlace them one finger differently, so it feels like the weird way to link your hands. Your palms can be open or closed here, whichever feels best for your shoulders. Reach the knuckles towards back heel. Keep the chin just softening down towards your chest, so the neck stays relaxed, and then feel the breath move around the chest space. Deepen into that front knee. Keep that clasp of the hands trying to reach up away from the body. On your next inhale, lift the hands up to the ceiling. Spiral the left hand around behind you, so palms again facing the wall to your left. Stretch the fingers open and reach the hands even further away from you. Allow the left hand to find the leg behind you, or lower back if that's more comfortable. As you inhale, reach right hand high, so palm is flipping to look at the wall behind you, reaching into that slight extension of your back. Keeping the shoulders in the rotation and deepen into the front leg. Couple more breaths. See if you can find some softness into it, relax the jaw, relax the forehead. On your next exhale, gently unravel your arms, both hands down either side of front foot. Step back into your downward dog. Again, either pausing here for a few breaths or roll through the vinyasa if you want to keep flowing. Any variations you like. Take a big full breath in when you're in down dog. And a full breath out. And last time, inhale. Exhale. Lift the right leg towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring the right knee towards your left elbow. And then extend the foot out towards the left. Let the foot rest to the floor. Make sure the foot is closer towards your hand than it is towards your foot. Okay, so drag it up a little bit higher. Either same here, both palms can stay on the ground. If we can, drop the back heels. You roll the foot to heels on the ground. Press through the right hand, so your left arm can lift up to the ceiling, coming into fallen star. Reach the top fingers towards the ceiling as high as they'll reach, so they lift the hips away from the ground another inch higher. Feel that squeeze of the underneath side of your torso. So all those lats and obliques are really engaged to keep your torso lifting up. Relax into the head, relax the neck, maybe gaze drops down towards underneath hand. Soften the movement of your breath, so there's no struggle. Take a last big breath in. As you exhale, bring the left hand down to the floor. Unthread the legs, reach up to the ceiling, take a big breath in. Exhale, lower through chaturanga with this right leg floating on the free hand. If you need to, of course, please place it down, place the knees down if you wish. Roll through that vinyasa, back into downward dog. Pausing, take a full round of breath. Inhale, lift left leg high. Exhale, bring knee towards right elbow, holding there, keep the shoulders coming forwards. Extend the foot out towards the right. Again, check the foot is closer towards your hands than it is towards your foot. Slide it up as far as it might come. Either keeping the hands on the floor here, or drop the back heel into the ground, press through the left hand, right hand lifts up to the ceiling. Again, try and grab hold of something on the ceiling so that you lift nice and tall through the shoulders. Feel the squeeze of the underneath side of your torso. It's activating all your obliques and your lats. Keep the hips trying to lift up. Again, find softness into it to slow down the breath. Let the head soften, jaw relax. Take another breath. On your exhale, bring the right hand back to the floor. Unthread the leg so it reaches back high to the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Exhale any variation of your chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to downward dog. Take a long, big breath in. Full breath out. Long breath in. Full breath out. Bring the knees down to the mat. Come back into child's pose. Any variations, maybe arms reaching out in front of you, maybe hands resting underneath the forehead or down the sides of the legs. Slow down the breath, notice the heart rate soften. Bring yourself into a kneeling position, so sitting up onto the heels. And bring the knees closer together. So if this is tricky for knees, you're welcome to stay in a higher kneeling position on your shins. You can pad your knees up a little bit further with your mat if you need to. If you want to also stretch through your feet, then tuck the toes underneath so we get that foot stretch into it as well. You can have that one for free. Take the hands to clasp behind your back, so interlace the fingers. Draw the shoulders together. Again, palms can be open or palms closed, whichever feels best for shoulders and chest. Keep the chin softening down towards chest line rather than lifting. And then as you exhale, belly to spine, try and lift the hands further up away from your back. Big breath in. Exhale, belly to spine, lift the hands further up away from your back. Take another breath in. This time as you exhale, bow forwards towards the thighs. Forehead comes towards the ground. It does not have to touch the floor. Keep the hands trying to lift up. So you feel more squeeze between shoulder blades. Shoulders lift away from the neckline. Let the neck soften down. As you inhale, come back into kneeling, knuckles reaching back. As you exhale, bow forwards, forehead comes towards the floor, hands lifting up towards the ceiling. Couple more times. Inhale, come through kneeling. Exhale, bow forwards, hands lifting up as the head softens down. Last one, inhale through kneeling. Exhale, forwards and down. Inhale, come back up through kneeling and release the hands. Give the shoulders a little roll out. Come back into a downward facing dog, just to say transition. Get your feet to stretch out and have the toes tucked underneath for a little while. Roll forwards into plank position. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Bring the hands underneath your forehead, just let the body relax to the ground, let the shoulders feel soft. From here, finding a gentle bow pose, you can option to do this one side or one leg at a time. So you're going to bend the right foot in towards your body and use the right hand to catch hold of the outer side of the foot or the ankle. If you're taking this one side at a time, reach the left hand forwards. So you're going to lift the right leg up, maybe extending the other limbs out long. Or option to go straight into this with both legs coming in, so both hands catching the outer side of the ankles. Press the feet or foot into your hands so you feel the shoulders draw back first. Keep a feeling of slightly tucking the tailbone so pubic bone stays rooted into the floor. And then using the strength of the legs and that squeeze of the shoulder blades to help the chest lift open. Keeping that chin softening forwards, so as we have done through the whole of the practice, there's nothing coming into the neck. Find the breath move into the ribs, lower belly, side ribs, back ribs, and upper chest. Take a breath in. As you exhale, let the body soften down, hands underneath the forehead, let the spine relax. We're going to take either a second round of your full bow, or you take the other side as we repeat. So when you're ready, either you're taking left foot into left hand only, and the other arms out long, or taking both feet again. Take a breath in to prepare. Exhale to press the feet or foot into your hands, and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Maybe noticing a little bit more space around the chest this second time round. You're starting to feel it into the back, come out of it slightly. Should be feeling no compression through lower spine. So keep the feeling of tucking tailbone so the pelvis stays completely rooted. Take the last full breath in. As you exhale, soften your way back out again. Allow the hands to come under the forehead and the legs relax. From where you are, just roll yourself over onto your back. And then bring the knees in towards your chest. Squeeze them in nice and close towards you. Take a rock side to side so you massage your back into the floor. And then let the feet find the ground. So exactly as we did at the start of the session, take your feet about as wide as the mat, or maybe a little wider, and let your knees drop in to rest on each other. Slowing down the breath. Just separate the knees apart from each other, keep the feet wide, drop both knees just to flop down towards the right. So no need to bring the quad stretch into this one, you're just finding a soft spiral through the spine to ease out the back after your back bend. Whenever you next exhale, belly to spine, lift the knees back up and all the way down to the left. Your next exhale, belly to spine, lift the knees back to center. Take any last postures that you feel your body needs to feel neutralized, and then come into any variation of Shavasana that feels good for your back and good for your body. So if you have the space, just starfish yourself out a little bit into the floor, palms facing up to ceiling, tuck the shoulder blades down your back. Just let the feet flop open, or we keep feet on the mat with knees bent if that's more comfortable for your back. Again, find that sense of heaviness through the torso and length through the back of your neck, and that softness through the jaw, softness through the forehead, and soften any ujjayi strength away from your breath. So just let the breath become slightly more effortless now. And stay where you are. Take another 3 breaths. And gently, if they aren't already, then bend the knees so your feet come to the ground. Just let your spine reset to the floor if you need to. Take a deeper, fuller breath in. Just hold that breath in the body for a moment. And then fully release the breath. Either rolling yourself to one side or take a gentle rock to seated if that's more comfortable. Bring the hands to the heart center, thumbs against the sternum, your chest center. Just take a breath in. Use the thumbs to lift the chest so you lift taller through your back. And as you exhale, bow the head to your hands. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. Well done, guys. Thank you very much.